Hey, it's me. Lately, we've been exploring something deep and life changing: the relationship between our ego and the universal intelligence within us. And I want to keep walking with you down that path today because there's a truth here that changes everything. Until the ego surrenders its grip, we can't truly be well, not deeply, not fully. The ego, by nature, wants control. It believes it must protect us, manage every detail, keep us safe. But when we live only from the ego, we become cut off from the greater stream of life, from the universal wisdom that breathes through everything. That separation creates suffering. It leads to tension, to burnout, to confusion and fear. You can know this truth with your mind and still find it nearly impossible to let go. That's why we need new ways of seeing, new inner pathways that make surrender feel less like dying and more like coming alive. So let's start here. The ego, when it clings too tightly, begins to wither. It's like trying to survive on air without ever taking a full breath. That breath, our life force, comes from the divine self inside us. When we're disconnected from that source, we lose vitality. And over time, if we never find our way back, we slowly dry out. Even death itself, when seen through this lens, starts to look different. The more we live in separation, the more we fear death. But when we heal that split, when the ego relaxes and returns to its source, death no longer feels like an end. It becomes a shift in consciousness, not something to fear. This reconnection isn't just some future goal. It's available right here, right now. There are natural moments when the ego gets quiet and the real self steps forward. One of the simplest examples is sleep. When the ego can't let go, even sleep becomes impossible. I mean, have you ever noticed how worry or tension keeps you awake at night? That's the ego resisting surrender. Another sacred moment of ego release is found in deep, healthy love. When we lose ourselves in real connection with another, when we forget our self-consciousness and truly merge in love, something incredible happens. The ego dips into something much bigger. There is a union of body, heart, mind, and soul, and it nourishes us at every level. Meditation, when done not as a technique, but as a true surrender to truth, offers the same possibility. It's not about thinking or even visualizing. It's about saying yes to the greater intelligence inside you, especially in the places where you're most afraid. And when that happens, when you allow yourself to be deeply honest and open, something divine starts moving through you. That movement replenishes you. It clears confusion. It reveals the next step. In all of these moments, these examples, sleep, love, meditation, ego lets go. It surrenders its constant effort. And as a result, something miraculous takes place. Life, flow, vitality, joy. The more we practice letting the ego rest, the more our whole life starts to align with the greater intelligence. We stop trying to control everything. We stop trying to fight the current. Instead, we begin to trust. And when trust grows, the fear of letting go fades. the ego softens. It becomes more like a riverbank than a dam, strong, but flexible enough to let the waters of life pass through. Now, when the ego won't yield, when it holds on to old hurts, judgments, and defenses, life becomes hard, dry, lonely. And the result eventually is not just emotional death, but physical depletion as well. Now, you might wonder, why would I hold on to something that's hurting me? And that's the great puzzle. The truth is, even though we long for love and connection, we often fear the very thing that would give it to us. That fear usually comes from deep, hidden parts of us, from places where we still believe that letting go means losing control, being unsafe, or being annihilated. The ego whispers, don't trust, stay small, stay guarded. And so we live from fear, even while yearning for freedom. Sometimes this fear is so intense that we look for false ways to escape. Drugs, compulsions, even fantasies of death. We don't always realize that what we really want is rest, relief, reconnection. But the longer we resist the healthy surrender of the ego, the more we flirt with its unhealthy counterpart, self-sabotage. So, what are we to do? Well, we can start by gently noticing our own inner destructiveness, the subtle ways we pull back from love, the small hidden parts that say, I won't forgive, I won't trust, I won't give of myself. These thoughts might be fleeting, but they shape our lives more than we realize. Maybe you thought, no one knows what I'm really feeling, so it doesn't matter. Or, if I suffer in silence, they'll feel guilty. These are also ego strategies. They pretend to protect us, but really they keep us stuck and disconnected from life. And yet, something beautiful happens the moment we become honest with ourselves. When we say, I want to give my best to life. I want to face the places where I'm closed off. And I want to be guided by something greater than my fear. In that moment, something inside us opens. Even the willingness to see ourselves clearly sets a powerful new energy in motion. The more we live from this place of truth, the more our ego aligns with the real self. Trust replaces fear. Flow replaces force. We begin to feel held by something deeper than effort. This is what allows the ego to finally let go. Not through pressure or self-denial, but because it's found something more trustworthy to lean on. Divine within. A love that doesn't judge, a power that isn't in opposition, a wisdom that only ever wants your highest good. And when that happens, your whole life starts to be infused with this deeper presence. You don't have to think your way through every challenge. You can feel your way forward with trust, clarity, and peace. So, if you're feeling anxious, ask gently, where am I still holding on? Where am I blocking love, truth, or surrender? The answers may surprise you. They may feel small at first. Don't underestimate them. The smallest opening in the ego can let in a flood of light. Because at the heart of everything, beneath all our layers of fear, pride, and control, is the law of love. It's not a cliche, it's not a religious platitude. It's a universal truth. And love, when it's real, is always honest. It doesn't pretend to be nice while seething with resentment. It doesn't control while calling it care. It doesn't hide behind self-righteous pride and call it strength. The path back to truth begins with seeing all of that and choosing to live differently. So keep walking, my friend. Keep noticing. Keep softening. Keep choosing love, even in the smallest ways, because that's how the ego lets go. And that's how life begins again. Love you. Connect soon.